Hey, Carol Deegan. Hello, hello. Hey, Judy. Good to see you. Happy Tuesday. I lost track of the days today. Oh my goodness. So yes, this is Lori's Daily Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up, and it's Tuesday night at 8, so it's time for our live. I have a fun one tonight, basically because I was up against a wall. Hey, Sharon, good to see you. But first of all, I think I showed these Sunday night, but I'm not sure. These are the Just cards for October. You earn these with a minimum $45 product purchase before shipping and after discounts. So, like if you put $45 in and you put in your rewards and you take $10 off, it doesn't qualify. It has to be a $45 product purchase plus the shipping and the handling. Okay. But then you get the class for free. And we can do these mail order. We send them out to you. We just ask for $5 postage if you are living long distance and need us to mail them. Or you can do a porch pickup, or I have an in-person class the second Tuesday of every month at 3 o'clock here in my home in Dillsburg. And if you don't want the kits, you just want to have the PDF, you can also request that instead of the card kits. Okay. All right. So that is what we are doing this month for our Just Cards. But tonight, I want to talk about quick and easy. And even as I was doing this, I realized, oh my gosh, this would be a great thing to throw in your bag if you're going on a trip, if you're going up to a campground for a weekend, or you have a camper somewhere and you go up there so every so often, if you're going to the in-laws' house, because I really did use minimal supplies for me. Right. But what I did is I played with the Joyful Days, Memories and More card pack. And I pulled several of these out, but there's still several of them here. So these are the smaller cards. Great plaid pattern, cute little. I mean, you can just trim this off and use it as an accent if you don't want the lines on there. These are great for scrapbooking as well. If you're a scrapbooker, these are going to make your scrapbooking, your holiday scrapbooks really quick and easy to come together. Excuse me. We have some wreath. Oops, I think I pulled two there. And then this one is cute with the little tree line down below. What a great focal point, right? And then this one has trees on the front. Okay. And then the Merry Christmas. I love that. So we saw that one. Here's one, another wreath, but Joyful Days. This actually reminds me of the pine in the Branch Out stamp set. I did not bring that in with when I was making the cards, but you absolutely could do that. And then on the back is another just great neutral pattern. A Merry Christmas. Oh, there's our tree. I love that plaid as well. And then a single tree with the ornaments all over it and another fun pattern. So those are the smaller ones. Those are 3x4. Hi, Verna. Hi, Debbie. And then we have these larger ones. These are 4x6, I believe it is. So obviously you're going to cut them down. Look at that plaid. Oh, we played a lot with that plaid. You'll see. Hey, Jeannie, you just ordered them. Awesome. Hopefully I give you some ideas. So again, you can see how this works with scrapbooking as well, because this is a great journaling card. It's got the pine on the side and you have lots of room to write your story. And then this fun pattern on the back as well. And then this one I love too. Makes a great card front. Just have to trim it down. And then another fun, you could use this as a focal image, put this on your card front, have this be your edge border, put a wreath or something on there. Did not design, I designed with this side. I did not design with that side. Basically, I ran out of time because I started these cards at 10-ish today, and then I had a class at 3, and here we are tonight having some stamping fun together. So, all right, so let me start. And why I say this is easy to take, so you can grab that card pack, take it right with you, no worries. And I really stayed in the colors Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Real Red, and Basic White. So you don't have to take a lot of cardstock. I used the same color inks as I did the cardstock. Here's the first card. And I think I used two different embellishments, and there might be one ribbon in here. I'm not sure, maybe two ribbons. So light to pack to take. Take it to a crop. Come to an open craft day at the Cozy Craft Nest. That's a shameless plug, isn't it? Um, in Gettysburg, and craft the day away with us. Bring this with you, and you'll be set to make cards all day. But this is a fun fold, quick and easy. I used the Jolly Holly embossing folder and cut it down to be the layer on my front flap. I'm looking for my adhesive because I have been all over the place today. So we're just going to put that on the flap. The cards are the focal images, so we don't have to do a whole lot to them. And then what did I put on the inside? May your holiday season be filled with joy and happiness. I believe that one is from the traditional labels, which is really my go-to right now because we don't have a lot of larger sayings. And then we're going to need to pull in our cherry cobbler ink. So I just have my 4 ink pads. It's really a great to-go kit. You've been struggling with them. Well, hopefully I give you some ideas tonight, Carol. I'll be honest, I'm not a scrapbooker. You all know that. I'm a card maker. But I have in the past got the holiday kits like this one, and I love them to make quick Christmas cards with. Oh, you're coming down next summer? That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. Tell me the dates. We'll figure out how we can really blow it out for you. There we go. We're going to put this on the inside. Then just a layer of mossy meadow that is 1/8 inch larger than the card. I kept this card just as it was, I think. I might have trimmed it down a little bit, but not much. And then that's going to be our fun fold. Oh, good. I love when the seal tears the cardstock. I know, I know. And I was trying to get him to get some time off um, around now so we could come up since we failed miserably in the summer. Because do you have any color up there right now, Debbie? Because we have no color. We have no color down here right now. Kind of sad. We did a fun give me a minute, I'll get it. We did a fun something. Train ride, that's the words I'm looking for. Apparently my brain cannot look for gems and function at the same time. But we didn't have any color, which was sad. Okay, so we're just going to add some of the individual berries in the cherry cobbler or the real red. I forget if this is real red or cherry cobbler, but you know what? It works with both. So, and always have to go for that triangular pattern. Oh, if anybody's watching that was at class today, they're laughing at me right now. Because I was giving them a hard time. They were peeling their gems off with their fingers. And of course, the glue was getting left behind, and I was giving them a hard time. So that quick and easy, you've got a cute Christmas card done already, right? And I love putting the mossy meadow and the old olive together. And really, we brought all 4 colors in: mossy meadow, old olive, cherry cobbler, and the basic white. Now, this does say it has Secret C in it, and I think that there's some Secret C splatters. And the other one it says is it has strawberry slush. If you see strawberry slush on anything I make tonight, can you let me know? Because I don't see it. I just don't. Maybe it's there. Who knows? All right, let's grab another quick one. They're all pretty quick. This one I'm using Mossy Meadow and Cherry Cobbler. And grab a bone folder. Sharpen up my creases a little bit. And I just embossed this with, it's gone, guys. What's the name of this embossing folder? Oh my gosh. Okay, who can name it? Here's your test for the night. And this is just, again, a layer of Cherry Cobbler. Oh my heavens. It's not there. Yeah, no, they turned brown and fell off the trees. That's what they're saying now, that we're not going to have any color down here. There's a train ride out of Gettysburg now, and we were going to do that one. I think my brother and his significant other are going to do that one, but they're saying no color. That's sad because that's my favorite part of fall. It's all the color. Okay, I'm not even going to layer this onto another color. I like it just like this. That white against the Cherry Cobbler just pops, right? And then I did a smaller insert because, you know, cardstock is expensive. So we look for ways to save where we can, and creating smaller that you can get maybe 6 inserts out of a piece instead of just 4. And I'm going to grab Old Olive this time. We're going to be, well, we did earn Alaska, and thank you to those of you that support me and helped me get that. I appreciate you. Of course, we're going to be in Alaska end of May, beginning of June. We're going to be in Michigan for my nephew's wedding, Labor Day weekend. And so we'll have to see where we can fit. And I am very close to the magic million number. And again, thank you to those of you that are helping me get there. I'm about 2,600 away, I think, maybe less than that now. I haven't looked this week. And then we're just going to pop that in the center. And I don't know when that trip will be, but next year could be a very busy year. We were going to go to New Orleans next year with my brother's family, and that kind of fell through due to some schooling that my nephew's fiance is taking. So that's probably the following year, but that's good because I don't know that I can do 3 trips in 1 year. Peaceful greenery. There we go. Hey, Betty, thank you. But not as brilliant as usual. Yeah. I always remembered when I used to come up there and do workshops that was the perfect time because the colors were so pretty. And going up to New York. And now we're just going to use some of these clear ones because we're mounting it onto Cherry Cobbler and it almost becomes iridescent. Does the camera share that with you? And I'm just going to pop them. There it is. I'm like, did I put it under my nail? What happened there? Ugh. And I was going to say I had 3 on here when I started the day. I'm going to pop that on the greenery. So again, kind of a triangle there. And then we just have that on the inside. Love it. Quick, easy. All right. Sometimes that's what we need, especially as you get closer to the holiday, right? You don't have time to maybe make some of the, oh, thank you, Judy. We don't have so much time as we do earlier in the season. So being able to do quick cards is always a positive. Let's bring this one in. I swear earlier, I thought I had 6 cards. Apparently, I do not. Yes, I do. Okay. All right. So this one is actually one of the larger, and I just trimmed it down so it would fit. Let me grab my trimmer. We'll do that now. And we're going to take 3/8 of an inch off on each side. Yep. Had to double check myself. The 4-inch width is fine. We don't need to worry about that, but we definitely want for this to fit onto our 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Oh, thank you, Verna. Thanks, Betty. I know, I really love that embossing folder, and I'm not sure I didn't just order it again thinking I didn't have it. Anybody ever do that? I'm sure you don't. Oh, see, there was my note to cut my 3/8 inch off just in case I forgot. I will say that I never in my life expected to sell $1 million with Stamp It Up. Again, I was in for 3 months. I had no intention of sticking around. I was going to get in and get out. And here we are, all these years later, 22 to be exact. It's kind of crazy. You just never know where life is going to take you and how different events in your life that may or may not be within your control impact where you land and what you do. And I was blessed enough that I had built a business that when I was downsized 8 years ago, I thought I looked for a little while and I wasn't really finding anything that was saying, do me, do me. And so I decided to make this my full-time career. And thank you to all of you that have been there before, during, and after that period. Well, not after, we're still in it. But I don't have any intention of going back to work at this point. Retiring, yes. Going back to work, I don't think so. Unless I do something fun part-time somewhere. All right, so this is going to be the inside of our card. You see that little gold gem there at the bottom? Are you curious about that? Why would Lori put a single solitary gem on the inside of her card? There you go. Good plan. And then this is going to be our card front. Slide that over a little bit. Or at least a portion of our card front. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. It's been a wild ride. It really has. And I've seen a ton of changes. Okay, so the reason is I turned this into an easel card. Real quick and easy. And I'm using, which sadly I don't think these are currently available right now. These are the traditional sparkling sequins. That's part of the traditional Christmas suite because they're flat. They're perfectly flat. So they're not going to cause any issues with it marring the inside of your card. I never put it on that part. I always put it on here. So I stay under the, oh my goodness. Extra sticky tape tonight. Stay under the score line by putting the tape on there that way. So there's our card front. And it's going to prop up just like this one back here. We're going to go ahead and mount this inside. I know, and there, as I said, the easel card is one of the easiest fun folds to do. And I like doing them in all different orientations, right? I mean, typically it's the 4 1/4 by 11. It gives you the higher stand. But how fun is one that's this wide? That's the 5 1/2 by 4 1/4, right? Now, where did I put those gems? Right here. And of course, one of our Just Cards this month is a diagonal corner easel card. So that's fun too. All right, so I'm going to try and pop this. Hey now. Right about there. Whoa. Wants to fight me. And there you go. It's flat, but it has enough depth to it that it will function as your easel prop. I love this one. I think it's so pretty. And the piece that I cut off on the side to make it fit on the card front, I just used as an accent on the inside, so no waste. How do you like that? So again, you're seeing the same colors repeating them because of repeating the cherry cobbler, the mossy meadow, the old olive, and the basic white, because I literally pulled them from the Memories and More cards. Okay, let's do this one next. So that was 3, and we have 3 left. And you could get a ton more. I just did 6 different designs. Oh, thank you. So this one, I cheated on this one. Can you tell? You know what I did? First of all, I used the birch embossing folder on the mossy meadow. Again, marrying the mossy meadow with the old olive. I really like that. And to be honest with you, I don't know if I've ever done that before. Usually I'm a purist with my color, and if I'm using mossy meadow, then I stay with mossy meadow. I don't think I've ever had one. Okay. Chair quite this bad. Let's go this way. Well, that seems to work better. No, not really. We're just gonna pop it on here, and if it falls off, I'll put it on with liquid glue later. Not that it's not sticky, it's just scary. Oh, thank you. Yeah, and again, very little stamping inside, greeting, right? So I took the Christmas cheer card that's typically 3x4 and I cut it down. So it's still by 4, but I cut enough off on both ends, so it was still centered, so that I could fit the tree card. So I doubled up on my cards here, cut this down top and bottom so I could get it on, still have the little 1/8" border at the bottom. And then the seam, so it looks like one piece, right? It almost looks like you stamped the Christmas cheer and then you did the tree. Well, I didn't want that seam there because that would be silly. So I just took a piece of real red, pulling it off of the plaid. I could have used a piece of the plaid that I cut off, now that I think about it. But I think I threw all that away. But now it just looks like one panel that I put on the card front, right? So let's go ahead and mount this. And again, I'm going to try to stay at that 1/8" border. That's what I have on my sides, and I want to keep that across the top. We'll bring this in, make sure we're aligned. 1/8" or maybe a little more there. Down at the bottom, get my sides lined up so it really does look like just one panel of basic white that I stamped. And then our real red strip. Pull my silicone pad out so I don't end up with ink all over my grid. And I got to tell you, this card actually came about because it kind of just fell on my table. These 2 cards fell on my table together, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I have an idea. What do you think? Okay. So then on the inside of this one, I just did a layer of basic white. And I could have done a layer of real red behind it, but I didn't on this one. Let's see. Again, minimal greetings needed. You see, I've only pulled a couple of different greetings out to use, making this a really nice to-go kit. You don't need a lot of supplies. A paper trimmer, your card tack, and your inks and cardstock all in the same colors. And if you're not a gem person, you don't even need gems, right? And this one, I actually don't think I put gems on. Okay. You think it needs gems? I don't. I think it's good the way it is. Oh, sorry, did I hit the camera? All right, so there is what, number 4. We have 2 more. Again, you could get so many more out of that. I just chose, well, I created until I ran out of time is what happened. I got Rick to take the picture so I can, excuse me, update the YouTube channel. And when we're done, for some reason I can't load that part ahead of time. I lie. Here's pecan pie. I did bring in a little bit of pecan pie. Did you get a notice that I'm going to be late? Oh my God. Yeah, I think it is too. Thanks, Judy. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Deborah. I would love it if you gave me a thumbs up. If you like what you're seeing, give me that thumbs up, okay? And if you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit the subscribe button because maybe that'll do a better job of notifying you that I'm going to be live. I use the timeless plaid on the Real Red. You wouldn't have to. I just jazzed it up. If this is on the go, either do it ahead of time or don't do it. Let's see if I can get some liquid glue on these. I need to order liquid glue. Most of mine are running really low. I think the timeless plaid might be one of my favorite embossing folders right now. Let's make sure I've got. And that was so silly. That was so silly. And I put it on with liquid glue. Hey, Pat, let me do this before I completely screw up my card. We're going to go ahead and see if I can get that to stick on the liquid glue. I knew I was going to do that with this ribbon. Yeah, it's not going to. So let's do a little bit of adhesive. And this, I love this ribbon because on one side it's more mossy meadow than gold. And on the other side, it's more gold than mossy meadow. It's really pretty. Perfect for the holidays, especially if you're a mossy meadow fan. I'm trying to get a heads up on my nephew's fiance's color for her wedding so I can start working on their wedding card because it's going to have to be something super special. Okay. Hopefully I left myself enough room. I did. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and stamp on this one as soon as I find all my pieces and parts. Well, here's the cheer. We're going to go ahead and put that on. We're using Real Red. I saw the sending earlier. I brought in a touch of Mossy Meadow with the little tree from a little cheer. Just thought that gave it something. And we're going to pretend Lori has the sending because I have no idea where it could be. Honestly, I checked everything before I went live and it was all here. Oh, I used to have somebody that watched me that accused the elf. I think the elf came and took my sending. I'll have to put that on later. Okay, we're going to mount this to a layer of pecan pie to carry forward the card base. And that one I did pop up with dimensionals. You would not have to, but it's easy enough to slide a pack of dimensionals into your bag. Hey, Pat. Thank you for ordering the class. I think you'll really like it this time. It's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. And then I pre-tied a bow because, sometimes my fingers don't want to work when we're live when it comes to tying bows. See you, Deborah. Thanks so much. Have a good evening and a good rest of your week. All right, and then we're going to pop this over here. If it lets go of my finger. So maybe I should have mounted that first and it would let me move that over, but we're just going to leave it. And then I'm going to find my sending and put that up there. And it's going to look like this. We're going to add a couple of those clear gems, those clear berries, if you will. These are the ones I never use. So this was great because of the iridescent effect, right? So we're going to put one down here. And then up here. Although I will say, when they're on these really slidey pieces, sometimes they don't like to come off the paper. I don't know. These were on low inventory 2 nights ago, guys. So if this is something that you're thinking of using in your Christmas crafting, I would recommend you get them sooner rather than later because it is October and I have no idea if SU will get them back in. So there's the berries on the front. Again, that iridescent works so beautifully. And I did not put an insert on that one. How about that? And I didn't on this one either, but we're going to. Let's see, sending cheer. How about we go back and use May the Spirit? And we're going to do that in real red. I'm trying to find the top. I'm not seeing it. There we go. Not that I haven't stamped greetings upside down in my lifetime. Again, just a handful of stamps is all you need to create the cards. I like portable stamping. I used to do a lot more of it than I do now. When I was traveling for my day job, I would pack my stamp kit and take it with me so I could stamp in the hotel rooms at night. But there we go. There is our 5th project. Oh my goodness, we're down to 1. Okay. Again, I brought in 2 cards. Okay. So I have this big one that has the trees on the opposite side, and I'm going to I'm going to cut that into panels, if you will, or sections, whatever you want to say. And then I have the trees, and that's simply going to get an old olive border. We're going to do this one on basic white, thick basic white. You can use regular basic white if you so choose. Stampin' Up! Tried to discontinue the basic white. Judy. And then I needed something to brighten it up. So I just added that layer of basic white to the background. And I honestly, I apologize, guys. I did not look to see if this was still current. I think it is. This is the mesh gold ribbon, which is so pretty. So we're going to put a strip of that on there. And then we're going to go ahead and get these cut a while. And I have to cheat because the memory is not holding up today. I can't remember what I cut those widths to. I cut them to 1 3/8. So we're going to cut 1 3/8. One. And you will have some of this card left over that you can use the plaid as an accent. Okay. 2, 3. And then we're just going to space them out going across to create our background. I'm going to do the bottom and the top and then put the middle in. I know some people start in the middle and then put the two on the other sides out, but this way works for me the best, I think. Okay, there's one. Two. And then 3 in the center. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to grab that mesh ribbon. Is it still available? Awesome. I lucked out. But I wanted to add a little gold. I felt like it needed some gold, and I thought this was the perfect touch. And I just came down as close to eyeballing the middle as I can. And I always laugh at myself when I try to do that because of the sight issues I've had, my middle is not the middle most times. But that's okay. It works. We're going to go ahead and mount this to our real red layer. I told my husband I was really tired tonight. Ta-da! And then I'm not going to put it on the thick white yet, just in case I mess it up and I have to. Sad to cover up this one, but you have lots and lots. So pick yourself 3 or 4 designs you like and go to town making Christmas cards. And sometimes when you make them with, pre-made layers, if you will, card, focal images, whatever I'm trying to say, you're like, but I thought these looked pretty sharp, guys. I was impressed. Not with me, but with the cards themselves. I'm gonna sound like I'm tooting my own horn there. But yeah, I really did like these cards. Just see that little trick? If your paper backing doesn't want to come off, I press my thumbnail down in the center and it pops the sides up. Okay. So we're going to mount this. And ideally spacing it equitably the whole way around, although I think I'm a little low, but that's okay. And then 'tis the season. And I'm going to center that on here because we're going to bring in one more touch of gold. Just a tiny bit bigger old olive strip. I'm going to mount that right across there. It's already got dimensionals under the tree layer, so I'm just going to do it flat. I don't think it really extends far enough over the card for me to worry about putting a dimensional under the edges. So 'tis the season, and then we're going to go back and grab the flat traditional Bags are everywhere. Little gems. And I think I used the middle size on this. So it brings in the ribbon with the gold accents. And now we're going to stamp the inside of the card because, you know, if I mess it up, I can still fix it. And I have my piece that I cut off that we're going to use as an accent at the bottom. And I think, yep. Did anybody notice, or is it just me? I was looking for greetings today, obviously. And did you notice how many of our Christmas greetings say something about magic? There's quite a few. And not just in the same stamp set, but in multiple stamp sets. Hey, I think we did it. I don't think I have to worry about fixing it. You know the trick, right? I always tell my guests at my class to stamp their insides of their cards first. If I had messed that up, I can fold it around and no one will ever know. And now I have a second shot, right? So always stamp the inside. Now, if you're doing a layer, obviously it doesn't matter. But if you're working with your basic white, stamp it first. Because if that was crooked, if that had smudged, whatever, that now becomes the front of my card, which is now hidden by my layers. And I have a whole new page to work with. We probably all know that, but sometimes we need a reminder, right? Okay. We are, and then I'll come back and put that last piece, that last little accent, one of the pieces left over from me cutting that apart. And I'm just going to center it just like it was on a border, right? And there we go. Okay, so let me move the inky stamps. I got to find the sending cheer or the sending for the cheer card. But here we go. There is the last one that we created. Then we have this one, which has the sending on it. We have this one. This is where it gets tricky, getting all this into the camera. We have this one. I don't know. Are we still in camera? We have that one. And we have that one. How'd I do? I keep them all in. The video is always like 10 seconds. It feels like forever, but it says it's 10 seconds behind. Oh, thank you, Judy. I'm glad you liked them. Give it a try. If you've never tried it with the Memories and More cards, I encourage you to give it a try because these really did come out very pretty, I think. And I would certainly send them to any of my family or friends. Good, Jeannie. I hope you can use some of them. We had two fun folds in here, right? We had the front flap, and then we had this pretty easel card. So, well, you are very welcome. I hope that this generates your own ideas and you can steal as many of these as you would like. That's what it's all about, right? Copy and share everything. So, all right, ladies, thanks. And gentlemen, if you're watching, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for supporting me. Whether you watch my videos, you purchase from me, you buy my classes, I appreciate every bit of it. And as far as I know, I'm always hesitant to say I will, because then for sure something happens. But as far as I know, I'll be live Sunday night. We might play with the gingerbread. Oh no, we're gonna do just cards, I think. And I'll save gingerbread for that Tuesday. So see you Sunday, hopefully. Have a great rest of your week, everyone. Thanks again. Bye-bye.